for illegal migration, youth unemployment, and regional security will dominate Thursday's Africa and European Union summit in the Ivorian capital, Abidjan. The continent's leaders will be joined by the presidents of France, Italy, and other European nations to map out strategies on how to address the root causes of illegal migration and other issues of concern to African youth. President Akufo-Addo, at a joint news conference with the visiting Italian Prime Minister ahead of the summit, says finding jobs for the millions of the continent's youth is one sure way to address the migrant crisis responsible for the deaths of thousands of Africans as they embark on perilous journeys to see greener pastures. Elton Brobe's report.
Let us take us to our various countries.
Dealing with the migrant crisis has become urgently important, considering recent reports about how some migrants are being sold into slavery in Libya. Young people from the continent, especially West Africa in pursuit of greener pastures, have fallen victim to human trafficking rings or have had to pay the ultimate price with their lives, drowning in the Mediterranean Sea. At a joint news conference with the visiting Italian Prime Minister, President Akufo-Addo said maintaining regional security is key to Africa's quest to attract foreign direct investment.
The issue of migration is, for us, really it's about ourselves. I think that what we've seen from history is that migrations are occurring when places are not working, when countries' economies are weak, when people can't find employment and find opportunity and hope in their own country. We're witnesses 19th century Irish migration into America and Italian. I don't think it's happening today because Italy is working, Ireland is working. So our focus in terms of the solution to migration is what we can do to create a society and a nation of opportunities for the young people of Ghana. I think that if Ghanaian youth feel that they have a future here, that they can express themselves and find fulfillment of their aspirations in Ghana. The trekking through the Sahara and the hazard, the Mediterranean seas and the activities around Lampedusa, those things would not occur.
The Italian Prime Minister, Paolo Gentiloni, who spoke through an interpreter, said his country is making available $25 million to support small businesses in Ghana in a bid to minimize the flow of migrants.
Siamo molto interessati allo sviluppo di un tessuto di piccole e medie imprese in diversi settori dell'economia del Ghana.
We are very interested in developing the small medium companies in the Ghanaian economy.
Su questo mi fa piacere di annunciare che l'Italia ha deciso di concedere una linea di credito di 25 milioni dedicata esattamente allo sviluppo di macchinari in questi settori.
It is my pleasure to also say that Italy has decided to give out 25 million dedicated to these small and medium enterprises for buying their machineries.
Come il Presidente Addo ha ricordato, siamo alla vigilia del vertice tra Unione Europea e Unione Africana.
As the President rightly said, we are going to the summit, the AU-EU summit.
Al centro di questo vertice sarà il futuro dei giovani.
And at this summit, the future of the youth would be discussed.
The migration situation has become a global crisis, with many calling for an end to the phenomenon. JoyNews is continuing to seek answers from government and key stakeholders on how to deal with this menace.
In a related development, Ranking Member on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, is pushing for an immediate African Union-led rescue mission for Africans who have been caught up in a modern-day slave trade in Libya. A recent CNN investigation showed migrants being auctioned for as low as $400 US. The report does not indicate if there were any Ghanaians being traded, but says most of the migrants in detention camps are from Ghana and Nigeria. Well, Mr. Ablakwa has since filed an urgent question in Parliament asking the Foreign Affairs Minister to come and brief MPs on whether any Ghanaians have actually been caught up in the trade.
We do not know which country they come from. And so I filed an urgent question today asking the Honorable Foreign Minister to come brief the House. Let us know if our Foreign Ministry has begun an inquiry to ascertain if there are any Ghanaians caught up in that dehumanizing treatment. If you look at the slave masters, they are armed and they are using force. We know that Libya is really a failed state now with at least two governments controlling different territories, and it's become a haven of terrorist organizations, as you do know. So we will need to see some action. I would think that the international community and the African Union should try to get the address of where this is going on, and if force has to be applied, we need to apply force to go rescue these slaves. But let's wait and see what the Honorable Foreign Minister will come tell us about the Ghanaian situation within the context of what is happening.
You mentioned if it becomes necessary, possibly using force to help rescue these gentlemen. How do we deal with that? There are concerns about us now having a standby army and all.
We have been able to do that in previous instances, and the recent one that comes to mind is the standby force that we put together to intervene in the Gambia. And at this point, I believe strongly that all options must be on the table, which must include the possibility of moving in forcefully to rescue these African nationals who are being put through this hell.